All right. So next book I'm going to do is City Boy. Eli, did you read this?
I didn't.
You
I
didn't?
read the
Okay.
concept and I was like,
I thought the concept was interesting. I thought the concept was interesting. I'll put it like that.
yeah.
Not original, just
Even though,
interesting.
yeah, even though it was free on DC, I could have
Yeah.
read it.
Yeah. Now the reason I read this because the concept sounded interesting, but also familiar, and I want to see how close it was to the concept that I had heard about before. I'll get into it. We got to talk about this guy's power. City Boy basically has the powers of City. If that sounds familiar, we can go with it. If not, I'll kind of break it down when we go into it. Oh, and it's also like that line
He
of
can
like,
power a city.
no. Not he powers a city. He gets powers from a city. He has city powers. So I'll explain it. And then the crazy thing, he's not the first superhero to have these powers.
So he's crowded and stinks.
Yeah, kind of. We'll break it down. Let's get into it. So let's go to City Boy number one. Like I said, it's another one of those DC books, just like the Vigil, where they kind of like bringing in more diverse characters.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like that also. So it's not
Written by
just
Greg Pak.
written by Greg Pak. So basically, the book starts off it's in Metropolis. The whole book is set in Metropolis. He's with his mom. He sees his granddad, runs to his granddad, and soon as his mom sees granddad, she hops in a taxi and gets the fuck up out of there. So yeah, so that's already a fucked up story right there. So he runs after her, and I don't know if his granddad runs after him or not, but anyway, we cut to him in present time. Bum is hitting him up. The police tell him to get the fuck up out of there, so they go running off somewhere. And but he kind of knows because of his city powers, he knows like where to find money and cash and all this shit like that. He knows where to find this stuff. So yeah. So because the city talks to him. And then so this guy just shows up. He's just like, oh yeah, I heard about that. You can find anything you want. So you're gonna find what I need you to do. Because his name is Boss Chung and he runs like basically the Chinatown part of Metropolis. And it basically they get to his point. I'm gonna just cut to the point of it. How he got his powers because he was in some kind of accident where this guy, this mad scientist, he theorized that cities are their own organism. Just like we're our own organism, like we're made up of cells and DNA and all this like that. Well, cities are made up of many of us. Like we are the cells and we are the things that make a city alive and make a city die. So he feel like if he can tap into a city, he can, I don't know, do some shit. Anyway, but of course, the experiment goes wrong. It turns out he took all the most powerful people in the city, like politicians and drug dealers and all the shit like that. They're thinking that they were going to tap into the city. But what happened was since the boy back there, the bomb just bypassed all of them and just put all the powers into the boy. So now the boy has city powers. So what are city powers? So city powers are that he can talk to the city. Then the city talks back to him. So if he needs to find something, the city can tell him where it is. If he's looking for somebody, the city can tell him where to go. Things like that. So that's city power, and he can like go into the city and come out of the city and teleport different parts of the city and all this shit like that. So that's city powers. And what he doing, he just basically trying to get out of town since they're going to use his city power to take over the city. So he's trying to get the hell out of here. And when they basically, I think they shoot that guy. Yeah, the other bomb, they shoot the other bomb. And he was like, okay, well, you asked for it. You want my city powers? Here's my city powers. So he unleashes all his city powers, whatever that means. Anyway, shit starts getting fucked up. Whatever he starts doing, like earthquakes start happening and shit because he's causing it through the city, and he's about to fuck up everybody with his city powers. And while they're doing that, you see at the end we get Ugly Mannheim. Yes, he is back. And Ugly Mannheim, of course, is in charge of Inner Gang. And if you know anything about Inner Gang and Ugly Mannheim, who their boss is Darkseid. Darkseid is because Darkseid wants the city boy and his city powers for whatever. I guess the anti-life equation. I don't know, some shit. But that is the story. That's it. Now, the reason I picked up the story, not because of City Boy or City Powers, always like that. He is a direct ripoff of another hero. Now, the Authority has a guy called Jack Hawksmoor, and he has city powers. He calls himself the City King, God of Cities. He talks to cities. Cities give him super strength. The bigger the city, the stronger and faster he gets.
Did this say it was like connected to Wildstorm?
I think he popped up in a Wildstorm comic, but like I said, they already have a city guy. So this, like, they're too close together. They're too close together. Because like I said, when the Authority movie come out, when David James Gunn get that, Jack Hawksmoor will be in it, and everybody's gonna be like, what the fuck are city powers? But in that comic, city powers are cool. This comic, they just like city powers are what? What is he doing? Because he can like throw buildings at you and shit like that. And Jack Hawksmoor, this guy just, I don't know what the fuck he can do. So yeah.
Did you like this book?
I did. I kind of liked it. It was a fun, easy breezy read. It didn't blow my socks off, but I didn't just hate it, anything like that. It was a fun read for what it was.
I'm just finding out that Greg Pak is half Asian. So
what? You
My
can tell
bad.
by his name?
no,
We thought he was Scandinavian or something.
I didn't know, man. I just seen him. I just seen him, and I just read. Oh, his mom or his dad was Asian. Like,
Well, I mean,
shit.
wait, have you ever seen a picture of him?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
couldn't tell from the picture?
No, not really. No,
He
I just
looks
thought he was.
Asian. Yeah.
Well, now that I can see it now, but I didn't I didn't like look at it. I know it sounds shitty, but now Amadeus Cho's makes a lot more sense to me.
Right. Oh man.
Because I'm a dumbass.
It's funny, I just realized they're kind of doing all this Asian push going around. And who's the head of DC right now? Jim Lee. Nobody ever makes that connection that Jim Lee is Asian and he has an Asian agenda, because when he was the X-Men, Asian X-Men mutants start popping up left and right. Jubilee, Psylocke, and all these other crazy.
He gave us hot Psylocke.
He gave us hot Psylocke because she was a white British.
Bless him.
She was a white British pompous Spice Girl before Jim Lee got on. After that, she was a sexy ninja assassin. Like, how does that happen?
With a lightsaber, yeah.
With a lightsaber. Nobody asked the question. All they know is that she kicks high. That's all we care about.